And good evening, everybody, and welcome. Hey, that's pretty loud. I got to turn that down because I can hear it coming back at me. There we go. Welcome to Wildwood Pizza and week 12 of our week 11. Week 11?
12.
That's what I thought. Yeah, 10, and then 11 last week.
If you want to add on the jamboree and the scrimmages,
week 13.
14. Absolutely.
Man, we've been at this a long time, and it's been great. I do have to say, and I thank you guys and the team for keeping this up. This is the farthest in the season that we've gone. You know, with the show, whether we were on radio or here doing the live stream, and we are headed to week 2 of the playoffs of the third season, and just talk about the opportunity to be, this deep in the season and still going.
Well, there's only 16 teams are left, so a lot of people are sitting at home, not game planning like we're doing, and they'll be watching maybe 446 Sports. Maybe they'll be watching our game. But it's a privilege to be there, especially this particular team. They haven't had a lot of success, especially the seniors in their careers. So, man, it's just great to be able to see the season that they're having, and the fun that they're having, the fun that their families are having, and it's just a great thing to see and watch. And so it's going into the second round, you've got a playoff win, you got good momentum. Obviously, when you get in the playoffs, you're going to play good teams, and we're going to play a really good team, and it shouldn't be no other way. So if you want to try to win the championship, you got to go through the good team. So here we come. That's
right. You got to beat everybody that you come in front of and play in order to be the champion. And that's the number 1 seeds, the number 2 seeds. It doesn't matter, and it won't get any too much easier. As the season goes on. I did not introduce everybody properly. We've got head coach David Perkins to my left, defensive coordinator Thomas Scully. For those of you who are just joining in for the first time and seeing what the Eagles Nest Coaches Show is all about, I'm Tom Boucher. I do have 2 interns that are here with us, and you'll see them later in the show. Jeffrey Owens and Andrew Beeman. They've been with us all season long doing our interview segments. And we've got the Holy Rollers coming up, the part of the school that we're going to highlight this week in this show. We've tried to do that every week of the season, and our thanks to Lynn Roy and all of the students who have come on and the different organizations and different sports that we've been able to promote. You'll see the softball and basketball team interviews at halftime Friday night. We'll run those. We interviewed the softball team, Lainey Smith. She's here tonight. She's been with us in the crowd all year long, along with your wife and
Mama
Sophia.
P.
And sometimes we get to see Miss Sonia come out, and Morgan Redmond and his sidekick Morgan Freeman. He and his wife and kids couldn't be here tonight.
And you talk about the Hicks. We got the battery out there. You got the deep snapper punter. So kind of like the battery, right?
That's it. Yeah, and the deep snapper was running interference for the kicker, the punter.
Well, he plays like 9 positions, so that's just one of them.
I was just glad that his wrist was okay.
Absolutely.
Coming off that one of those last plays at the last game of the regular season. But we're glad that the crowd is here, and we're thankful to Wildwood Pizza for having us every week. We're going to talk in depth about the game with some highlights and everything, but just the opportunity to host at home and what that was like, and to see the crowd that was there. I mean, there was tailgating going on. It happens every game, but it was full last week.
It was, and we had a lot of alum at the game, kind of like homecoming. Maybe not as many, but it was good to see the Eagles show up and support these boys. They've been working hard for a long, long time, and it's paying off for them. The coaches have put in many, many hours, throughout the season, and obviously it's paying off for us. And the Eagles are just rolling right now, man. We've won six in a row, going into week 12. So we've got the momentum. We got hot at the right time. You want to get hot the second half of the season and going into the playoffs, and that's what we've done. And, we've given ourselves a little adrenaline shot, getting the playoff win, and we'll take that up to Shreveport.
Yeah, we got a 2-hour, almost a 2-hour ride with I-49. It cut it down just a hair. But you guys, how do you treat the playoff game? I mean, that's something we won't really talk about at the end of this show. We're going to talk more about the Cavaliers, the Calvary Cavaliers, and what you're facing in that team when we come to finish out the show. But let's just talk a little about in the last couple of minutes that we have in this segment. How do you handle going up there and, having the kids go up there, and you do something special with them so that, because you're 2 weeks into the playoffs?
Well, we will take a charter up there, and we'll leave a little bit early from school and go up there and get us some. Actually, we're going to go up there and eat at Walk-On, so we'll do that, and then we'll just take them to the mall for a little while, and then we'll head on over to Calvary just to give them a little something to do. They've played. It's been a tough season. It's been a long season, long summer, and just a little payoff for the players.
Well, and the hot summer, that they went through. Of course, every team did. But it was, and your guys are playing, both ways, and for the most part, with the team. And Calvary, what I see, 66 players on the team. I mean,
they do.
Good night.
Well, a team at that caliber, they're going to have those kind of numbers. You face other teams; they're in the 80s to 90s. So.
How are they double A, though, when you're having 66 players?
A third of the school, right?
Yeah. Well, and when you think about it, that's what these elite programs, and they're an elite program, that's they're getting the right people to come to their school, and you can tell, when we look at our division, everybody talks about Division 1, 2, and 3. We were talking about it today after practice. In Division 3, you've got 4 teams that are triple in 3A numbers, but they're playing down in our division. But then when you look at the other 6, those 6 are the ones that are always playing at the end of the season in the quarter, semis, and finals every year, and it's the same ones that are always there. And they do a really good job. I mean, they do a great job of getting kids to come to their school, and they got some things that going in their favor, and they're just it's amazing to see the same schools every year when you get to round 2.
Yeah.
So for us to be here, it's a testament of what our kids have gone through and what they wanted to accomplish and the goals that they set. And so it's exciting. It really is.
I've always asked you, how do you get the kids fired up to play? I just can't imagine that they aren't just fired up to go into this game. I mean, you kind of look at it, and there's probably folks outside of Menard that aren't giving the Eagles any chance at all in this game. When you look at Calvary, what they've done, they're 10-0. They had a bye. You see them. They're fast. They got Division I guys that are being looked at, for recruits. Anybody who looks at all the recruiting stuff and they see, oh, yeah, he's the number 1 athlete or number 1 quarterback or number 1 running back in their class or in the division and everything, and they have guys that are, being talked about like that. That's got to fire up our guys, these Eagle players, to go up there and go, man, we're going to play these guys, and let's just go in there and knock them in the mouth and see what happens.
Well, it does. And, first of all, we know what we're up against, okay? They know what they're up against, and they can see they know the guys' names more than we know the guys' names. We know their numbers and we can watch them on video and see their abilities, but they actually know their names, their stats, and stuff like that. Who's recruiting them and all that kind of stuff. But you're right. And we're at the point of the season where these guys are used to the way we're practicing, what we do at practice, what we want to get accomplished at practice. So we're the freshmen are really not freshmen anymore; they're sophomores, and we're going to play some freshmen. But anyway, it's just a testament of yes, they're fired up to play, and it's up to us as coaches to make sure that they're fired up to play, because we're just handling this game, just like it's any other game. We understand that it's sudden death, and I say it's like a sudden death, and nobody knows during this game who's going to win, who's going to lose. So then that's why the emotions are so high in playoffs, and we've talked about this because – in the regular season, you've got next week. But, when you're in this game, and especially if it's a close game, and that's why you always see the tempo rise to a high level in playoffs, and it's because that, what's at stake, and it's either over or it's not. But, yes, they're fired up to play this game. We're fired up to play this game. Why wouldn't you want to go play the best teams?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You don't want to just always play teams you know you can beat, man. If you're an athlete and you're competitive and you're in sports and you want to play against the best people. And that's what's fixing to happen. We're going to go play against the best people in the state, you know. And they're not just the best people in the state in Division III. They're one of the best people in the state in any division.
Right.
Bar none.
Yeah.
Bar none, because they've beaten the teams in the highest divisions this year, you know. So, yeah, we know what we're up against.
Part of the why the schools wanted to go to non-select and select, because they didn't want to have to face teams like this, you know. But yeah, no, it's this is a type of game right here that could drive kids to Menard and say, okay, if y'all are going to play in these games, these types of games, I want to be in there to be able to play this type. I mean, that's what LSU does when they go out and recruit. They're like, hey, we play Alabama. We play all these top programs. You know, the SEC is in the top, and that's why you're seeing kids from all over the country wanting to come and play in the SEC. So, you know, that you build that, you know, it's almost like the Field of Dreams. Build it and they will come, I would imagine, huh?
That's right. And, you know, that's the exciting thing about being in the playoffs. And, you know, we talked about this all season. Was the goal was to get to this week, get to this game, and there was no doubt we felt like we could get to this point if we just put everything together. And like Coach said, we got hot at the right time, and that's what we've been able to do. And again, it's exciting, and they know it's fun. This is when it's fun. This is all the work they put in that hot summer. Now they're getting to reap the benefits of what their work was, and this is a testament to those 40 guys that we have that have just stuck it out. And it's fun. It's fun to watch them. You know, this is about them having fun right now, and enjoying themselves and making memories that last for a lifetime. And that's what they're doing, and that's the neat part about all of this. And you know, they'll never forget this, and that's what's so neat about it. They'll never forget it.
Yeah, they're setting a standard, and they won't. We got a lot more to cover. We're going to cover highlights from last Friday's game, and we'll go through all of the highlights in this segment so we can have the extra segment to talk about rediscovering Catholic schools with Renee Hicks, and probably talk a little bit about the golf team, and then the the Catholic Schools Week that happens in January.
Yeah, this is Discover.
It's all
Catholic.
real.
It's all real.
Discover, but we'll be back with more of the Eagles Nest Coaches Show with head coach David Perkins and Thomas Scully right after these messages. We are live on 446 Sports from Wildwood Pizza.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone, day or night, wherever you are or whatever you're doing. Download our mobile app today.
Is your vision just not as crisp and clear as it used to be? Are you having difficulty driving, especially at night? Are you over 40 and now needing reading glasses? If so, the trusted eye care team at Wallace Eye Associates is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, Apparel and Promotions in Pineville.
And we are back at Wildwood Pizza. We are live for this second round playoff game. And everybody's enjoying their pizza. There you go. And got their blankets on and covered up. This is, look, I'm just glad that we moved everything in a little bit and get the camera a little bit closer in because it was misting, as we were setting the equipment up, and I didn't want it rained on. I got to say, emergency ponchos at Walmart.
Always good to have.
Bought that Friday after. Had to wipe the lens off, did you? I mean, the rain never made it in there, but it pounded.
Well, you needed it Friday.
Oh, we did, didn't we? It was, and folks will see why as we get ready to go to the videos. Look, I had it all set up, and then there it is right there. All right, so we're going to pull this up and look at the first video, and this is the play that got us started. We went 4 or 3 and out, or maybe had a couple of first downs in that first drive, but then had to punt. And on this one, it was Cooper Scott.
Let Coach go with D.
This is a thing, and we talked about this all week as a team. And when you're preparing for teams like this that you know nothing about, you're looking for the littlest advantages. And what we saw was when they put number 10 in, he was a tight end. They hadn't put him in any other formation but this one. And when they put him in, they would throw the ball to him every time that we watched him on film. So I told Cooper, your 10 comes in the game, expect him to be throwing the ball. And sure enough, and so when he comes in, he breaks the huddle. And Cooper looks at me, I look at him, and so he knew what was about to happen. And he just – he stepped right in front of the pass, and it's one of those things. I go back to these guys being smart, wanting to. They got the buy-in. Let's just say that, and they're bought in. We're sitting there. We watch a lot of film. We break down film defensively, and that's where we have the advantage. Because it takes all 11 of our guys. We may not have one individual, but we've got a bunch of guys that do a great job. And, Cooper's done a great job defensively, but on this particular play, he just read what we had talked about all week.
And I know we loop it, and I like that because we get to see it over and over and over on the good plays. But, you see Drake Aldridge come in, and he's playing. He's pretty much just guiding his man wherever he wants to take him and then throwing him to the side. And I'm just glad he didn't bat that one down like he did last week.
Drake has batted a lot of balls down this year, and some big, some big plays. But no, Cooper, he's the leader of our team. He mostly leads by example, man. And he's one of the best linebackers in the state. And man, we just love having him. And this is just a great way to get the playoff game going. You jump on top. Our defense is going to get right back out there after scoring. So just a great play by him, man.
Well, and the defense did a nice job. We're going to take a look at the next video and see where it is in perfect position right here, and watch Ben Good swing around and track the guy down from behind. And Ben's had himself a really nice year. Coach, I started out with 2 defensive plays.
Yeah. Well, the thing with Ben, and I tell Ben this, and I told the guys this on yesterday. We stayed in and we watched film and broke down, watching Calvary. But I just reminded them of how well they've done all year. And, I compliment these guys. And Ben's one of those guys that has a motor that never stops. And that's, you always can expect Ben to be in the right place at the right time. He'll make a mistake every once in a while, but Ben's going to do it just like he is. And look, that's all you're going to get out of him. He's just that excited, gets back on the line of scrimmage, does it again. And he and Asher Davis, they're almost twins when it comes to doing that, because they do the same thing every time. They put their hand on the ground. It's about staying on the line of scrimmage, not getting too deep in the backfield, and just tracking them down. And that's what he did. He chased this guy down.
And I like to see it when Asher and Ben are able to get the tackles, because most of the time they're laying on the ground
Exactly.
after they took people out and having everybody pile on them. As we go to the next video, we've got a pass into the flats, and that's to Aiden Moran, and that picks up some big yards, Coach.
Yeah, that's Jake Vaughn out there throwing, and that's two sophomores throwing out there to Aiden. Just like Coach said, this has just come from hours of watching film with Coach Ortiz and Coach Redmond. Man, they drew this play up right here and noticed that they could get the running back out there in the flats. It's a nice, easier throw, with the wet ball. And he's open, and Aiden Moran will just go north and south and run the ball really hard. It was a great play for us right there.
That's what I really like. I mean, the north and south run, and you see a lot of guys sometimes going east and west, and you're really not going anywhere. You're running a lot of yards, but not picking up any. And then if you have teams with speed, they can get you. As we go to the next play, Andrew, this is going to be Jake Vaughn on a keeper. I mean, this was obviously just a quarterback draw. I mean, he just took off with it. It was a design play.
Yeah, you see, when we run this play quite often, when we got four guys, with Jake and with Gavin and with Cooper and with Aiden, we got four guys right there legit, and all four guys can carry the ball. And it's kind of one of the reasons why one guy doesn't have a whole bunch of yards this year. It's completely even and spread out between those four guys. And here's Jake, just finding the seam that's right, that we've got it blocked. He's got to, see how you just watch right here. You got a guy pulling, he's going to kick, and then he's going to just run it up in there. And, if we block the right guys, man, we're going to have an alley. And like we said, they got to run it north and south, and they got to run it with a little power. You just can't tiptoe in there.
That took it inside the 35, and I ran those two plays to set up this next highlight, and it's Gavin just finishing off the drive. The first drive stalled. We had to punt. Coop got us fired up, with the pick six, and then Gavin takes the handoff, and he's in basically untouched on the right side. Y'all found something with that right side.
Yeah, when we like to run the ball that way, and the line obviously did a great job right there. But you can see right there on this drive, you had three different guys carry the ball. And it's really important for us. But you can see right here, Drake, I think, gets a good block and gets the kick out, and then Gavin's going to run it up there underneath him. And like you said, it's unusual to get untouched on the goal line, but you see it right there because everybody's on somebody.
So that made it 14-0 at that point, and I think we move into the second half, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. This is where are we going with this one? Oh, we're just running that play again. Let's go on to the next highlight. So this is one of the Hicks boys. This is Ryan Hicks with a punt. And this was a heck of a play right here. Nate Williams,
Matthews.
Oh, Nate Matthews.
Matthews, yeah.
But he comes up huge, diving and saving the ball at the 1 yard. I thought they were not going to give it to us, and then they did.
We're going to have two good punts here in just a second, back to back. I'm pretty sure you might have the other one. But, man, first of all, this is a great punt by Ryan because one of their best players is back right here. He's the one that had the big play. And he's very fast. So we're trying to kick it away from him, one thing, obviously. And so Ryan kicks it away from him. We get the good bounce. Nate, you see him get off the ball right there really quick. We told him he's got to get down there really fast, not only to do this, but in case that guy gets the ball and he don't have open field to run in. But, man, what a great play by Nate Matthews. Diving, first of all, just knowing that he had to do that, having the sense to do that, but diving right there, leaving his feet, not touching the goal line, and being able to throw the ball back over the goal line without it touching and getting it on the one because it's a big play because we're going to get a safety after it.
Oh, man,
I'm
give
sorry.
it all the way. You took Coach's
I didn't know how many highlights you had.
That's all good.
So, yeah, I was going to set this one up by saying, Coach, when they called that and you saw it at the one, did you have to calm the defense down? I mean, they had to be chomping at the bit as we move to the next highlight because here it is. Their first play, they were off sides, and they had to move the ball half the distance to the goal line, which basically put the nose of the football, the back nose of the football, on the white line or just before it. And then we knew there was no way they were getting that ball out of the end zone.
Yeah, that's the thing about these guys that play, every weekend on that defense every Friday. I didn't have to get them fired up. They knew what they were going to do. They were going to make sure that guy stayed in the end zone because, when you get that momentum again, this is the playoffs, and when you have that enthusiasm and you're that excited, I mean, you look at the guys; they're just coming down. But look how deep in the end zone they get this guy, and it's not our normal guys. It's the two guys in the middle. It's Drake, but it's also Asher. And it's also being in there
and
Dusane. So it didn't even get to Cooper or Buller or Williams, Jaden Wood. It didn't get to any of those guys. Look how far back. I mean, they knew what they were doing as soon as that guy touched the ball. So it was exciting.
We were sitting there and kind of talking about it afterwards and going, Drake blew his guy up and kept him from getting to the edge. And then Dusang and, like you said, Asher were there, and then everybody came in.
Well, when you're taking a snap in the end zone instead of being under center, you're already 4 yards. Yeah. So you're 5 yards in the backfield. Well, you better be pretty quick to get back to the line of scrimmage if you're at the 6-inch line. And so that guy really didn't have a shot of coming out and trying to run it in the middle, which is where we're at our best. So, again, that was just them. And the guys on the punt team and all of those guys that have, Nate Matthews plays a little bit of defense for us. He plays JV, a lot of JV, starts JV, but he played some varsity. He plays varsity, but he knows how important it is to get that ball down there and pin those guys back in the territory like that.
So on the next highlight, I threw this one in there just to kind of to break things up a little bit. But this one, we just went for the catch or the interception and didn't make the tackle, and then he
that's a
was
fluke
gone.
Coach can talk about it, but that's a fluke.
We don't
play.
have to say much about it.
This is the thing. Gavin being Gavin, he sat back on it because he and I talked about it after it happened. But this was the goal, and I said this last Wednesday: 13-9. If we could hold them to minimal damage and contain them, we would win. Well, that was the only catch that 13 had all night, and of course he scored. And that was my concern. If he got the ball in his hands, he was that fast. And number 9 didn't even touch the ball. All he did was have verbal confrontations all night with our guys because he didn't touch the ball. And our guys, they fed off of that, and they knew. Shout out to Maddox Shelton. I challenged Maddox. You make sure 9 don't touch the ball, but we got to make sure 13 don't. And Gavin just sat back on it. Unfortunately, on this play, also 7 goes down and re-injured his hamstring, and so I'm not sure what we'll get out of him this Friday. But you can see him just trying to hustle down there, and our guys wasn't giving up because they don't like to give up points either.
You could see it right there.
Yeah,
in that step.
Yeah, and so, but the guy, we knew he's a great athlete, and we knew he could run. But again, Gavin told me, he said, "Coach, I just thought I was going to get another pick, pick, and so I just sat back on it instead of being aggressive." And that's kind of what happened.
All right, we'll get off this highlight. Let's go to the next one. This is our Southern Air cool play of the game, and this is another looked like another punt, but it turned out to not be. And this was just well executed, and as we talked about, Matthew Hicks snapped it and then was downfield running interference a little bit. You don't necessarily have to lay a hand on somebody in order to get them open for the run, but Ryan played it just perfectly and picked up the 15 you needed, got 16.
Yeah, 4th and 15 right there, and you do this, man, you better get there. But, and he did this on his own. Now, we've talked about it, and, and I've told him, you've got great speed. If that one guy on the end, if you just get past him and they're running down the field, you got enough speed to get the first down. But that's if it was like 10 or less. And so, 15 yards, and then the guy chasing him to the sticks is 23, who's a very fast guy, and Brian just beat him there. And man, what a great play, and just kind of put the game away.
And they had really just scored, and it was 16-8, and it was like duh, and then it was like it was one of those things. And all I could say the whole time was like, I think he's doing that on his own. But it's a great play. We made it our not Quibidos, but our Southern Air cool play of the game. Cooper Scott ended up being the Quibidos player of the game. Yeah. So we move on to.
Well, hold on before let's watch the end. Not only did Ryan steal a first down, he also got to spike the ball without getting a penalty. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but he's on the sideline. That was the best part. He spikes it, and he taps his helmet like, "See, I know I'm smart," but he got away with 2 things. He got away with taking off and getting 16, and he spikes it on their sidelines, and nothing happens to him. I love it.
All right, we'll watch this all the way through. So
you got to watch it all the way through. That's the best part.
I wish my pointer was.
Oh yeah,
for the
he goes
TV.
right here.
Oh,
boom.
there it is.
I love it.
Well, I guess once you're off the field, it doesn't matter, right?
But the idea that he even
should've
thought
taken
about
his helmet
spiking it.
off.
Yeah. Well, no, don't take the helmet off. No, that wouldn't have been good.
So we'll move on to the last highlight as we're sitting at the 49-yard line, and this ends the scoring. But I mean, this is just a direct snap to Cooper, and he found a hole and he was gone.
Yeah, and like I said, he's got great power, but he also has great speed, and he's voicing his little opinion to the guy chasing him right there. But
that's what we were saying. Don't get.
He tell me he's having fun, right? But he said he was just laughing. But obviously, here's another great play by our linemen. They're just blocking these guys, getting bodies on bodies, and he's just finding a little crease up in there, and
yeah.
You can't just touch him.
He was still 25 yards out when he's looking at him.
An arm tackle's not going to bring him down, and I'm sure that he's had in his vision that he was gone about 5 yards after he got the ball, because you can see when he gets through the initial line of scrimmage right here, man, he's gone.
Well, Cooper can thank Donovan Davis for standing up with his umbrella and creating the out of focus shot as Jeffrey was trying to zoom in on him.
I love it
because he's trying to focus in on the umbrella. Got a clear shot of the top of the umbrella. But going back to that, I said Nate Williams, Nate Matthews. I should have known. If it's Menard, it's either a Matthews or a Vanderlick or
Has
somebody.
Has to be a
right?
Matthews in there somewhere. But absolutely.
That's right. All right. Well, that does it for the highlights. They were great highlights to follow. The final was 23-8. And it was a great victory for the Eagles to win at home and to give Menard a great opportunity to celebrate a home playoff victory that hadn't been done in quite some time. So congratulations, guys. We're going to throw it to a commercial break. When we come back, the interns get to take over the show, and they're going to be talking about the Holy Rollers, the bowling team, and the two Hicks brothers that we just highlighted in the Southern Air play of the game and talked about. They're going to be on, and then their mom will follow up. Renee Hicks in the following interview. So you guys get a break, go eat some pizza, and we'll be back. We got more of the Eagles Nest Coaches Show right after this. We are live from Wildwood Pizza on 446 Sports.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
This month, as we gather with the ones.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
All right, everybody, we're back with the Under Coaching Show, and my name is Jeffrey Owens, and I'm here with Ryan and Matthew Hicks, both on the bowling team, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. So, Ryan, what got you started?
I was probably like maybe 4th grade, and some of our best friends, the Carbos, their dad like bought the bowling alley, and we used to go for free all the time and bowl with them. And then we started like our own little league. We thought we got like pretty good, and so I've been bowling for like the last, I guess, like 9 years of my life. Yeah.
So, Matthew, similar story?
Yeah,
or?
Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, when did tryouts start? I was on the bowling team myself at Ash for a year. Wasn't nowhere good as you guys. I've heard y'all scores and like blew me out of the water, but still, I knew like we started around December-ish tryouts. Is that the same?
We don't really have tryouts. Everyone who bowls can just be on the team.
Okay.
Ours starts after Christmas break, because we still have like a lot of sports going on before Christmas, and then we kind of start up again after Christmas.
Got you. Matthew, how often do y'all practice during the season?
We usually have it like once a week on Sundays, but during that time we have track and baseball, so we can't even like make the practices half the time.
Oh, really?
But yeah, so we just show up and bowl usually.
So y'all just Ryan, y'all practice on y'all's own time because
we go for fun sometimes, and whenever we can, and we go with like our little brother too. It's like a hobby, so it's just something to do for fun.
Yeah.
Sure. Is he as good as y'all are, or is he still learning?
No, we're teaching him.
Yeah.
Shoot. Okay, so Matthew, who do y'all play? Because I know, again, when I was on the team, we'd usually play y'all a lot. So, and I know y'all probably travel down south some.
Yeah, we did like 2 years ago. We didn't do last year. We only played Bolton and Ash. Wait, no,
Pineville.
not even Bolton. At Pineville, yeah. So just Pineville and Ash. I don't know who we played this year.
Okay, but probably will traveling maybe and definitely. See, Pineville didn't have a team when I was there, so I forgot about them actually.
Yeah, we used to go to like Lafayette and stuff, but
yeah, I know like Lafayette Lanes.
Mm-hmm.
And now where is it? It's a new bowling alley now, right? Which alley is that? I think they closed. Well, no, I know y'all bowl at
no,
wait, but like Lafayette. I don't think it's Lafayette Lanes anymore.
I haven't been there recently.
Okay, got you. Again, since I have had a little experience, I want to ask, how would y'all describe and how do y'all think the lanes are at Four Seasons, Ryan? Do you think they're good or?
I think they're gonna renovate them soon, or maybe they already started it, because the ones that are Four Seasons, they're the wooden ones, and I know they're pretty old, and they're trying to renovate them, because whenever we go to for state in Baton Rouge, they were using synthetic lanes, and the ball bounces a little more on the synthetic lanes than the wooden lanes, so it's like different going to different towns and stuff like that.
Sure, I know that makes a difference.
But it also it's like, I guess, like home court, you could sort of say, so you get like comfortable with it.
Sure. So I also know this is a thing when it comes to bowling, and this is kind of just me asking: do y'all, Ryan? I'll start with you. Do you bowl one-handed or two-handed?
I bowl two-handed.
Matthew?
Two-handed.
Two-handed. See, I know that's a newer style. See, but I was one-handed. But my brother actually, he's in Kansas and he bowls two-handed. So I know it's a little. But why?
It's like the newer thing.
Yeah. So Ryan, Matthew, what's the benefit of bowling two-handed?
It's easier to put spin on the ball because you can just put one hand under and the other one on the side, and you just do that basically. Where one-handed, probably have to have more like wrist strength and everything.
And it's easier for like little kids too to like when you first start bowling, they always grow up with two hands and like toss it.
Yeah.
So it's easier like as you're little to get good at bowling is just stay with two hands, and like a lot of professionals nowadays are starting to use two-hand more and more.
Oh, sure, yeah. If you just watch a little bit of PBA, I mean, yeah. You can tell like it's starting to shift more towards two-handed bowling. A lot of the one-handed, or like a lot of the older bowlers like Norm Duke and people like that are kind of fading away because they're aging out. But yeah, I did get a question from somebody else. One of my friends was curious, because when you think bowling, you usually think individual, like scores and stuff. So, Ryan, how does that translate into a team sport? Like, how does the points and the pins make it team sport? You know, like how does that?
Because bowling, you can go to there's like state playoffs and stuff, and you can make it for singles, but you also make it as a team. So like whenever like just PowerPoints and stuff, but as a team, it's like 6 of our players versus like 6 of I guess Ash for example, and if our number 1 bowler and their number 1 bowler bowl against each other, and if you win, you get a point, and you bowl 3 matches each for everyone. So whoever has like the most points after all 3 games, like you win, sort of, basically, yeah.
I got you. So this is my final question. I'll ask you both. Matthew, I'll start with you. Why would you recommend bowling to any freshman or anybody who's coming up to Menard? Why would you say, hey, come join? It's a good time.
I mean, it's really just fun. You know, it's competitive, I guess, but it's more of just like a hobby to us. Like, we just go bowl for fun, and then whenever we do bowl as a competition, we usually just talk to the other team the whole time and just get to know them, I guess. And it's just fun.
Ryan, how about you?
I think the best thing about bowling is that you can drink root beer and eat hamburgers and pizza while you're bowling, and you can like talk to your parents and stuff. Like it's not like a serious sport, but it can be serious when you want. So it's kind of just like it's flexible, I guess. You don't have to.
It's not like football where you just can't, you get stopped to eat a burger in the middle of the game.
Yeah, you gotta be locked in the whole time. But like bowling is such a mental game. Like sometimes it's like I guess like having fun and talking and making jokes makes it more enjoyable.
Got you. Well, guys, I really do appreciate y'all coming on, and especially for me, bowling a little bit. I mean, it's been a while. Definitely not as good. I know you 300, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's impressive, I must say. Congratulations on that.
You.
So again, thank you for attending and participating in this interview, and I hope y'all have a great season coming up and a great game Friday, of course. And we're gonna bring it to a commercial, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our mobile app today.
Appliance Parts Company in Alexandria has all your major appliance parts needs. We sell parts to all major appliances as well as new appliances, including window units, chest, and upright freezers. Appliance Parts originally opened its doors on Lee Street in 1972, and we're now open at a new location on Memorial Drive to serve you better. Stop by, say hey to our crew, and check out our awesome holiday gifts. Appliance Parts, 2208 Memorial Drive in Alexandria next to Target. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday from 9 till 12.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family for all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, Apparel and Promotions in Pineville.
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448.
Alright, we are back, and I'm with Renee Hicks, who's the mother of Matt and Ryan, and you're connected to Menard. What exactly do you do at Menard?
I teach junior and senior religion and an adult responsibilities class, and I'm the golf sponsor.
Yes, golf sponsor. So tell me exactly how are you connected with golf? Like, you're coaching, or are you just?
No, I know nothing about golf. So I have a parent who will be coaching the team. I am just more of the making sure everybody is where they need to go, scheduling practices and things like that.
Oh, okay, well that's fun. And this week is actually a special week for Menard and all the other Catholic schools. It's, what is it, representing Catholic School
Discover
Week?
Catholic Schools Week. This is kind of like a pre-Catholic Schools Week that they have the end of January, where it just shows the things that Catholic schools offer and what sets us apart from other schools.
Okay, do you have anything going on at Menard that...
They had open house last night, and so many prospective families and things like that came, students. They got to see all the things that kind of go on at Menard, all the clubs, all the sports, met the teachers, and that was last night. Then tomorrow they're holding a all-school adoration, and they've invited anybody to come. And so it's kind of like just like a pre-Catholic Schools Week for the big time in January.
Okay, so, and Catholic School Week in January, what would that look like? It's just more of...
That is where we take a walk to St. Rita's for adoration, and I'm trying to think of all the things I really don't remember.
It's all right. But, yeah, is it like... I'm going to ask because I really don't know a lot about Catholic School Week. Is it really like introducing?
Yes, it's just showing off all the good things that our Catholic schools here in the diocese have to offer. Academics, athletics, all the activities and clubs and things like that that are special to our school and all the schools around here.
Nice. And, I mean, I'll ask this. Has this been a thing for a while now, for Louisiana schools in particular, or statewide or nationwide?
I think it's nationwide. It's Catholic Schools Week. The Discover Catholic Schools Week, I am actually not sure about that, but Catholic Schools Week has been going on for as long as I've been a student, and that's been a very long time.
Okay. Well, I mean, anything else you'd like to add about Catholic School Week that we haven't touched about?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know. It's okay, but I guess you're looking forward to January, right?
Yes,
okay.
And anybody who is thinking about coming to Menard, they can contact Tiffany Summerall. She's the admissions coordinator, and you can come take tours, and you can even shadow where your kid can come, stay a full day or half a day, and they can just kind of see everything that goes on at the school and kind of see if it would be a great fit for them. And so you can contact her.
Nice. And of course, if you're watching this and aren't related to Menard, you can go in January and check the school out and everything. I mean, that'd be really cool to do.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for being on. I mean, explaining what Catholic School Week is to everyone out there.
You're welcome.
And we'll be back in around 3 minutes for the ending of the coaches show with the coaches and, of course, Tom, talking about this upcoming playoff game Friday against Calvary. So stay tuned for that, and we'll be back in a few moments. All right.
It all started with a sketch on a napkin. An idea created by two walk-on bench warmers. And after 10 years of hard work and perseverance to turn their dream into a reality, it's the #1 sports bar in America.
Welcome to Walk On.
Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets, and just about anything award-related. And now, welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit apparel needs and anything you need to brand your business. When you think of anything you need with your name on it, think BK. Check them out on Facebook or at bkdistrib.com. BK Distributors, Apparel and Promotions in Pineville.
Appliance Parts Company in Alexandria has all your major appliance parts needs. We sell parts to all major appliances as well as new appliances, including window units, chest, and upright freezers. Appliance Parts originally opened its doors on Lee Street in 1972, and we're now open at a new location on Memorial Drive to serve you better. Stop by, say hey to our crew, and check out our awesome holiday gifts. Appliance Parts, 2208 Memorial Drive in Alexandria next to Target. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday from 9 till 12.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Harrell, Certified Residential Appraiser. I am currently a leading provider of appraisal services for mortgage lending, employee relocation, estate planning, and community property settlements. My experience in real estate over the past 13 years and currently serving as president of the Greater Central Louisiana Realtors Association has given me a clear understanding of the real estate world and the ever-changing market we live in today. For any of your valuation needs, give me, Kimberly Harrell, a call.
Time for our red, white, and cool summer event at Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now, you can save on a new energy saving system. No money down, 0% interest, and no payments till June 2024. Call Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing or visit us online.
And we're back here at Wildwood Pizza, live at Wildwood Pizza. Kind of losing our crowd a little bit.
Getting a little chilly.
It's almost like church.
Communion? Did
you go to communion and they leave early, right?
Don't say that too loud.
Right?
No, I can't say that about Renee. She's a religion teacher.
Right, exactly.
I guess that makes it funny. I'm turning red, man.
Oh,
Sorry.
God, that's good stuff. That's why you call it live.
That's right. That's right. So I forgot that we were up in the corner. We added that so that whenever we go to commercial break, if the game comes back, people don't miss anything, and we don't have to rush back and lose part of the commercial.
Sure.
For all our sponsors, we got to make sure we run the sponsors. And speaking of, I didn't get to talk about Polos and Plaids, who did our uniforms that we wear as the play-by-play team. You can kind of see it on the guns.
I was going to say, you over there flexing, man. What you flexing?
When I flex, you can see the Polos and Plaid just kind of move. It's more like Plaid.
It's just like waving in the wind.
You might be getting a call from Don Fields.
Yeah. He needs to work me out. That's right.
Oh, man.
All right, so let's close out the show, and we'll talk a little bit about Calvary. I know we talked about actually going in and playing a second-round game and everything, but and Calvary's got some studs, but we're going to go up there and we're going to play our game. When I was looking, I just found a couple, about 3 players. James Simon, number 31, and then you had Aubrey Hermes, number 9, and this is a cool name, Hatcher Grace. He's a senior, number 11, outside linebacker. My take was, if we control those guys, we'll be in pretty good shape.
We will, and I didn't know their names, but I do know those guys' numbers, and those 3 numbers you just called out are 3 really good numbers. So, they're loaded, Wouldn't make no bones about it, offensively and defensively. They got a good quarterback. They got good receivers. They have a good running back, and their defense is very sound. The linebackers can play. And their number 11 is a good free safety. He plays downhill, and our runners got to be ready for that. We've watched film and tried to emulate them a little bit, but they're a great team.
Yeah. I mean, there's always a reason why teams are ranked number 1 or number 2, and either way, you got to go through them, right?
Yeah, and they've got great players, great coaches, and we were talking about that on Saturday. Just going back and forth, they got 4 former head coaches on the staff, and Coach Ginn up there, he's been there in that area for a long time. When he retired and his last job, public school, was Houghton, and he went over to Calvary. But they do a really good job of scheming, and they run the spread, and they run NASCAR. They don't huddle up at all, and they've got. Not only do they have 31 in the backfield, they bring in 13 in the backfield. The quarterback's number 4. Then they've got Hermes out there at number 9, and then you've got 7, you've got 1. They've got them, and they can all go, and they do a really, really good job of, just keeping, they keep that pedal. They keep that foot on the pedal, and they don't stop. And then, then they turn around on defensively, and like you said, they're really, really good, really sound. They do a really good job. Beat Captain Shreve, 60. They scored 60 on Captain Shreve, who's a Division I school, which is a 5A. Division I, but they're a 5A school. They play in the select Division I. They beat Wassman. They beat. I'm drawing a blank. Darbone Woods is in their district. Beat Westgate, which is a 4A school. So they play a really tough schedule too, and they do a really, really good job of scheming, and they'll get you. You got to be prepared. You're not just going to show up and don't think they're not going to make changes. They make changes, and they call plays all their plays are called at the line of scrimmage.
And their quarterback throws for a high percentage. It's an incredible.
And they go
percentage.
deep.
But they'll throw it deep, but mostly, they just get the guys, those skilled guys, the ball, short routes, and then those guys are just
get them in space.
Just after the catch, man, they're just making yards, and to me, that's why the quarterback has such a high percentage, because he's throwing those good, nice, safe routes. But man, they're just big plays.
Yeah. So when you think about that, you think about the play that went for a touchdown last week. Where Gavin's got, those guys have to be in a mindset. Unless we know we got the pick, we're standing in front of the ball. We just need to be wrapping up and taking them down as soon as they make the catch.
Yeah, and you're right, and that's the thing, and that's what we've told them all week. We have nothing to lose. We're going to go out there and we're going to play hard, and the neatest thing about the whole week of practice is, we haven't had one person say, "What are we doing out here?" Everybody's been working hard and doing just what they've done for the past 12 weeks, and so it's exciting. It's been an exciting week. But the neatest thing is last week we were looking just at last week. This week we're looking at just this week, and the focus has been there. And so that's all you can ask for, when you're playing a caliber team like this. They're number 2, like you said, for a reason, but it's our guys are ready to go. They're ready to play.
Yeah, and I kind of brought this up earlier, and maybe it's just me. You don't want the guys to kind of come out and be in a little bit of awe whenever they see the stadium that they walk into.
Mm-hmm.
I know Tioga's got turf and Ash has got turf now, and the guys have probably been over there to see it at some point. But this is a college stadium, that they have up there in Calvary. When I think of Calvary right now, I think of what Evangel was, years ago when Dennis Dunn and several others were there, and they just – year after year, and they were playing 5A and winning state championships, and Calvary probably just took over the reins from Evangel. But again, do you think the guys will think that way when they come in there and just be like, wow, we're here, but then hopefully get over it real quick?
I don't.
It's not that big a deal.
It might be to our younger guys, our older guys. They play other sports besides football, so they played in some nice college baseball facilities. Because our 13 seniors, there's half of those guys play baseball, and they, we have a few going to play at the next level. So they've seen all of that, and they have a lot of friends. Like Coach said earlier, they know names. They know they have an indoor facility. They know they have a nice turf. They know they have a nice field. They've got a nice campus. Baseball. They've played baseball there several times. We play, so we're familiar with, I had the opportunity. We lost to them in the playoffs in softball last year. When you think about that name, they're going to be at their best, and they have the facilities, the coaching, and that's their school. That's what they build that school around is their athletic program, and it's obvious. And you know it.
And in the past we've had success against them. We've had success in softball. We've had success in baseball against them, and we've played them once, I think, in football, and they did beat us. But hey, like you said, our guys we're not going to back down from this. We've got a great defense, and we're planning on our defense keeping us in the game, and we're going to try and control the clock with what we're going to do on offense, and see what happens.
That's why you play the game.
Got to play it.
And now that's the next thing we have to do when next time that we are live, when we go live here at 446 Sports. It'll be Friday night from Shreveport at about 6:40, 6:45, and we'll be doing a pregame, so join us there. If you missed it, we're going to try to rerun the Holy Rollers interview during the pregame. We'll also have the softball interview, and we're going to rerun the basketball interview that gave us trouble at halftime of last week's game. But then we go live at kickoff from Shreveport at Calvary at 7 p.m. So tune in then and see if the Eagles can pull off the upset. And we just know that they're going to leave everything they have on the field because that's just the way they play week in and week out. For Jeffrey Owens and Andrew Beeman, I'm Tom Boucher. For Coach Scully and Coach Perkins, this has been the Eagles Nest Coaches Show Week 12 version and Week 2 of the playoffs. And God bless. Have a great night. We'll see you Friday night. And
go Eagles!